Right now on WRTV News at 5, moving ahead, the city of Indianapolis and Marion County will ease some restrictions put into place because of COVID-19. We have a rundown of what you can do and what is still off limits. The mission spanning across state lines and time zones as an Indiana man desperately searches for clues regarding his missing sister, the fear he is candidly talking about tonight. Plus, protesters spent the spring and summer demanding changes when it comes to the Indianapolis Metro Police Department and its officers. Tonight, the new tool at your fingertips and the controversy it's causing tonight.
From the station working for you, this is WRTV News at 5, streaming now.
And good evening here at 5. I'm Mark Mullins. Tomorrow, most of the state will go to stage 5 of the COVID-19 reopening plan. But we've learned Marion County is not moving ahead at the same pace. Marion County will ease some restrictions next week, but not at the same level as the state of Indiana. Today, Mayor Joe Hogsett and the Marion County Public Health Director announced starting Monday, capacities at restaurants, museums, and gyms will be expanding. Restaurants and bars will be able to seat people inside at 50% capacity, with outside seating expanding to 100%. Dance floors and bar tops will remain closed. Establishments must close their doors at midnight. Live entertainment can resume, but with restrictions, including a 10-foot buffer between the stage and the audience. The mayor says more help is on the way for struggling businesses impacted by the restrictions during the pandemic. Millions of dollars in COVID-19 relief grant money will soon be available.
This final slate of programs will pump millions more into efforts that address food insecurity, homelessness, rent, and mortgage relief, and educational needs. These are important investments, important relief from the effects that the virus has. It will also allow us to provide direct grant assistance to restaurants, bars, and entertainment venues that are affected by these ongoing public health orders.
The mayor expects to have more details on this effort next week. Dr. Virginia Kane says in order for Marion County to completely reopen, the county would need to meet the threshold of 35 new daily confirmed COVID-19 cases over a 7-day average. The positivity rate would need to be less than 5%. She's hoping to reach those numbers by November 1st. Starting Monday in Marion County, museums, music venues, and cultural sites can open at 50% capacity. Gyms and fitness centers can expand to 50% capacity as well. Churches and funerals will be able to move to 75% capacity. Dr. Kane also announced changes for guidance to schools in the county. You can find more information on that right now on WRTV.com. Another Indianapolis business owner says the economic impact of the pandemic is just too much to overcome, and so the owner is closing the restaurant's doors for good today. Duos is located in the International Medical Group building on Meridian Street. The owner says one round of government assistance just wasn't enough. They say the Paycheck Protection Program loans are running out, and they're calling on elected officials to step in and help before more restaurants end up making the same move, forced to close for good.
You got to be there for us. You can't separate the attraction and vibrancy of an urban area from the small businesses that make it so. And we have to have money to get through this.
Duos also had locations in City Market and at Eskenazi, and both of those locations have closed for good as well. No word yet on what is next for the owners and their staff. Now to our continuing coverage of the coronavirus and its impact on Indiana. The State Health Department reports 18 more deaths. 3,340 Hoosiers have now died with COVID-19. More than 115,000 Hoosiers have tested positive for the virus, and nearly 2 million tests have been administered in Indiana. Tonight, an Indiana man is in Colorado leading the search for his missing sister. Andrew Moorman is instructing volunteers who gather at the Visitors Center in Poncha Springs, Colorado. His sister, Suzanne Morphew, went missing on Mother's Day. Her bike was found at the bottom of a hill in Poncha Springs, but there was no blood or evidence of injury. Searchers have been combing through the area on foot looking for other clues. One group found a mound of earth that looked freshly overturned. They started digging but found no evidence of the missing woman. Andrew says that he's afraid of what he might find and afraid of what he might not find.
Not finding would be the worst. But the best I'll be able to get out of that is at least I gave it a damn big effort.
Mormon says that he just wants to find his little sister and bring her home to Alexandria, Indiana. He said they'll continue searching through Monday if necessary. Breonna Taylor's family is now speaking out following a Louisville grand jury's decision to not charge any officers for her killing. This as demonstrations demanding justice in her case continue across the nation. ABC's Rena Roy has the latest from Louisville.
Surrounded by a growing makeshift memorial for Breonna Taylor in the heart of downtown Louisville, her Aunt Bianca Austin spoke of their family's unbearable pain.
You didn't just rob me of my family, you robbed the world of a queen.
She wore Taylor's EMT jacket as she read a statement from Taylor's mother.
I knew Cameron would never do his job, but what I do know is that him and countless others will go to bed sleeping with Breonna's face, still hearing her say her name.
They're now demanding a release of the grand jury report.
Release the transcript!
While the Kentucky governor has echoed those calls, Attorney General Daniel Cameron has said it would not be made public. Wednesday's grand jury decision to not charge the officers with Taylor's killing shaking the community here. Some even moved to tears.
It could be me. It could be anybody. It's the truth. It would not be the same for a white woman.
Tell us a little bit about how the people of Louisville are feeling.
This is trauma. It was a slap in the face.
The city now seeing 120 straight days of protests. Demonstrations have been mostly peaceful. Police did arrest at least 26 people Thursday night for unlawful assembly, failure to disperse, and riot in the first degree. Kentucky State Representative Attica Scott was also taken into custody. 2 officers were shot Wednesday. One is out of the hospital, the other still recovering. And in Los Angeles, 2 incidents involving vehicles Thursday. This truck slamming into a protester, and a news chopper captured this dramatic chase after this white car drove through a group of people.
This is getting ugly really quick.
Police later taking the driver into custody. Activists here have vowed to continue protesting until the other 2 officers involved in the fatal shooting of Breonna Taylor are fired. Rena Roy, ABC News, Louisville.
In just 1 week, you'll be able to see every complaint that has been filed against Metro police officers. IMPD is striving to make reforms with its new transparency portal. But as our Kelsey Anderson tells us, some say the change could bring about problems for officers.
On August 10th, the City County Council approved the IMPD Transparency Portal to go live on October 1st. As it stands right now, and according to the meeting minutes, the director of the board will provide a monthly report of all citizen complaints against IMPD officers. The report will include the officer's name, rank, and whether the complaint was not sustained, exonerated, or withdrawn. I spoke to Reverend Charles Harrison about the portal, and he says he has mixed feelings.
Well, I think it could be a good thing in the sense I think the public does have a right to know if there are officers who continually get complaints against him or her that are legitimate. I don't want the transparency portal to be used as a tool or a weapon to continue the attacks against police. I don't think that's very healthy for the community.
I spoke to a member of the Citizens Police Review Board, and she says this change is just another step towards the transparency that the city has been working to achieve. Working for you, Kelsey Anderson, WRTV.
The IMPD Transparency Portal will go live on October 1st and will be accessible on the city and county websites.
Temperatures in the low 80s in western Indiana. I love alliteration, so let's say this. It is a fantastic Friday, and it'll lead to a warm first weekend of fall. Temperature in Indy's 77 right now. As we look at metro area temperatures, if you're headed out this evening just for a walk before sunset or headed to football games, it will be comfortable. Humidity's pretty low. There's a nice little breeze. Temperatures in the 70s, as you can see. Friday night football. Here we go. Blow the whistle. Great start. Temperatures will be down into the 60s before the games come to an end. Tomorrow morning, temperature will be in the 50s, upper 50s to around 60. A free show tonight. Look around. You'll see this dynamic trio, Jupiter, Saturn, and the Moon, all close together. You saw it last night, hopefully, and you'll have another opportunity as we get to Saturday night. We'll talk about changes that arrive as we go through the weekend and the way you'll dress for next week coming up.
In Hiring Hoosiers tonight, details about an upcoming drive-through job fair. It's happening tomorrow, the 26th, and hosted by the U.S. Postal Service. Hours are 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. at the Greater Indiana District Office. That's at 3939 Vincennes Road. Employees working on the job fair will wear masks and will social distance. Masks and social distancing are required for all attendees as well. The Postal Service has vacancies for a variety of jobs, including carriers and mail processing clerks. A final honor for Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg happening right now, but some say this historic moment is being upstaged by the battle to fill her spot on the Supreme Court. That's still ahead on WRTV. A surprising warning tonight about something many of us have in our mouths. Why a normal dental procedure could be hazardous to certain people. Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg made history one last time today, becoming the first woman and the first person of Jewish faith to lie in state at the Capitol. Republican and Democratic women in Congress lined the steps to pay their final respects, but the rare bipartisan moment is unlikely to last. The president is expected to announce his nominee to fill Justice Ginsburg's seat tomorrow, with Judge Amy Coney Barrett from Indiana seen as the top contender. Senate Republicans are vowing a quick confirmation hearing.
President Trump's nominee for this vacancy will receive a vote on the floor of the Senate.
This despite a new ABC News Washington Post poll finding by a wide margin most Americans say the winner of the election should fill the vacancy and a Senate vote should happen next year. Justice Ginsburg will be laid to rest next week in Arlington National Cemetery next to her beloved husband, Marty Ginsburg. Now let's take a national snapshot of the pandemic. The U.S. just passed 7 million confirmed coronavirus cases, with more on the rise. This comes as Florida's governor is out with a major announcement essentially opening the state fully for business. And in Massachusetts, a former superintendent and medical director of a veterans home is facing criminal charges because of a COVID outbreak there that killed at least 77 senior veterans.
My father's birthday was yesterday, and I fully believe he could have been here for that. That does not happen.
According to an ABC News analysis, coronavirus cases are rising in at least 32 states, Washington, D.C. and Puerto Rico. And new alarming data from the World Health Organization. The worldwide death toll could hit 2 million before a vaccine is widely in use. We've been telling you about Indiana moving to stage 5 of its reopening plan tomorrow. To put all of this into context, we created a timeline of each stage Indiana has gone through to get back on track. Stage 1 was the stay-at-home order. Back on track, Indiana, Stage 2 began May 4th for all Indiana counties except Cass, Lake, and Marion. And Marion County was just a couple of weeks behind that for Stage 2, starting on May 15th and getting fully into that stage by May 22nd. The biggest restriction lifted in Stage 2 allowed restaurants to have in-person dining with outdoor seating only and limited capacity. At the time, Mayor Joe Hogsett and other Indiana leaders said if the virus continued to stabilize and decline, there should be no reason we shouldn't move into Stage 2. And to be sure, the daily reported cases of COVID-19 at that time were certainly on the decline and headed into the lowest amount we had ever seen during the entire pandemic so far. Indiana got down to a running weekly average of 300 to 400 cases reported a day in June. For perspective right now, we are at an average of about 870 cases a day. Indiana moved into Stage 3 May 22nd. Marion County didn't move to Stage 3 until June 1st. Stage 3 meant stores and malls could open with limited capacity, as could gyms and other fitness facilities. Daycares were also encouraged to reopen. At this time, Indiana was definitely on the decline, with daily reported cases and averages, and testing was up, which meant a more accurate telling of how many cases the state was really dealing with. Most of the state moved to Stage 4 on June 12th. Social gatherings were expanded to up to 250 people. Many office buildings reopened for their workers, and bars and nightclubs reopened with limited capacity. Marion County moved into that stage June 19th. Around that time, Indiana's daily case numbers were around 370 a day. That's the lowest those have been all during the pandemic. Instead of going to stage 5, Indiana then moved to stage 4.5 on July 4th. We learned K-12 schools would operate this fall, whether that be e-learning or in person, but a few restrictions stayed the same, especially for restaurants, bars, and entertainment spots. Marion County moved to stage 4.5 a few days later on July 9th. At this point, daily reported case number averages were down, but we were on the upswing overall headed into the second wave of COVID-19 in Indiana. Testing has always been steadily increasing. Both Marion County and the state encouraged facial coverings early on, but actual mask mandates didn't start until later. Marion County was the first in the state to mandate masks starting on July 9th. The rest of Indiana followed suit on July 27th, and that mask mandate has been extended several times. It's now in effect until at least October 17th. The FDA just issued a warning for those with dental issues. Officials say silver fillings could cause problems for people in high-risk groups. Those include pregnant women, Alzheimer's, and multiple sclerosis patients. The FDA and the American Dental Association had said the material was safe for decades. You may want to check your tool shed. The Consumer Product Safety Commission has issued recalls on 2 popular cordless chainsaws. Both models are sold at Lowe's under the Cobalt brand. More than 250,000 of the chainsaws are on the market, and they can pose a significant safety hazard for serious cuts. The Consumer Product Safety Commission warns one of the saws has a tendency to be stuck on the on position. The other can sometimes continue running even after the user releases the trigger. You should stop using these saws immediately. Contact the manufacturer for a free repair. Are you an 80s kid? Hey, if so, one of your beloved traditions, like mine, was probably eating cereal while watching Saturday morning cartoons. Yep. General Mills is trying to tap into that nostalgia and is going retro, bringing back the 1980s recipes of 4 of its cereals. That's Cocoa Puffs, Cookie Crisp, Trix, and Golden Grahams. They're permanently returning to their 1980s versions. The company says that Cocoa Puffs will deliver a more chocolatey taste. Cookie Crisp will bring back more chocolate chip cookie flavor. Trix is returning to 6 fruity shapes, and Golden Grahams is bringing back honey. General Mills says they are now available at most major retailers nationwide.
Count me in, Mark. I'm an 80s kid. I always remember running out of milk before the cereal, though. Mass Avenue, what a great day today. If there's some outdoor dining in your future, whether it's this evening or this weekend, it will be perfect for that. Maybe a bit windy tomorrow evening. You'll have to keep the table settings from flying away. Love to say hello, and I've made her an honorary weather watcher today, Shannon Porter. She's a loyal RTV6 viewer. Hello to Shannon. Thanks for watching every evening, and what a day to be a weather watcher. You just report sunshine and comfortable temperatures. I wanted to show you this. It looks like the ski slope. We're at the top of the hill tomorrow and on Sunday, and then we slide down quickly. We gain momentum, and temperatures are really going to feel cool next week. It's just a matter of how warm it feels this weekend will make it feel that much cooler next week. Temperatures along the Wabash River from Lafayette all the way down to Vincennes and Evansville, for that matter, low to mid 80s. Eastern Indiana, middle to upper 70s. Through the evening, you're starting to see a lot more color. Got this picture yesterday from a friend out at Eagle Creek. You can see the shoreline there, some yellows and oranges. Temperatures this evening for high school football, or just a walk in the neighborhood, drop into the 60s. Remember, the sun is setting at 7:30. Feels like it's getting earlier. Twin 83-degree temperatures Saturday and Sunday. The difference, just a slight chance of a shower late in the day on Sunday. That would be in western Indiana first. Then it will slowly start to come to the east, but the drier air is in place, and so to kind of eat away at the eastern progress. Saturday temperatures work their way into the 80s, lower 80s. Humidity won't be too bad. One noticeable change from today, as we have these temperatures tomorrow in the low to almost mid 80s, will be this, the wind. The wind will gust well over 20 miles per hour and pick up in speed tomorrow night. That will keep our temperatures into Sunday morning in the 60s. There are the afternoon highs from north to south on Sunday. The rain lines up to the west late in the day, but watch what happens overnight. It becomes a pencil-thin line of some showers and thunder showers and fades away early. The models are starting to downplay total rainfall, but we'll take anything. If we can get a quarter of an inch, we'll take it. A couple of cold fronts and a few opportunities for rain next week as we keep reinforcing the cooler temperatures until finally at the end of the week, we are lucky to hit 60 for a high, and temperatures will be as cool as the lower 40s for overnight lows. I'm going to go that way and look for a jacket and a sweater.
Exit stage left. All right, thanks, Kevin. Well, the comfort of home can be found in this man cave. Problem is, this is not home, but work. And now 3 workers are in deep trouble for their underground secret. That story straight ahead. Just weeks after the world bid farewell to Black Panther star Chadwick Boseman, an artist is honoring the late star with a special mural on display at downtown Disney. Nicholas Smith says that he was inspired to create this tribute to honor Boseman's life and legacy. The mural is called King Chad. It shows Boseman exchanging the Black Panther salute with a little boy wearing a Black Panther mask. Boseman lost his battle with cancer last month. Man caves are sacred places where you can kick back, watch TV, eat junk food, but you're not supposed to do it at work. 3 New York City Transit employees found this out the hard way when they were busted for building and enjoying a secret man cave in the bowels of Grand Central Terminal. The room featured an HD TV, internet-ready streaming device, a microwave and fridge, also rollaway beds, inflatable mattresses, workout equipment, and a futon. It was found after multiple complaints about a room being used to get drunk and party. The workers are suspended without pay. Hey, you can't blame them for trying. I'll give you that. Still ahead here tonight on WRTV News at 6. A woman is only speaking with WRTV after she lost her son to gun violence. Her powerful story and urgent message to the community. That is all new at 6 p.m. Tomorrow we'll find out who Donald Trump wants to replace Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg on the Supreme Court. One of the potential nominees might not be familiar to you, but we'll tell you all about her next on the news at 5:30.